Cookbook. Olly had his cookbook, and he was ready to cook. The pictures of soup looked so good. First, he found some firewood. Then he got some water from a brook. He put the water on a hook. When the water was hot, he added the book. Olly waited a while, then took a look. The soup didn't taste so good. At last, Olly understood. A cookbook is not a book you cook. Lucky socks? Dex the duck needed some luck. He was about to do a fancy trick. He put on his lucky checked socks. He put on his lucky black jacket. Then he took off down the track. He did not see the little rock. Whack! Dex hit the rock. Splat! He landed on his back. My socks may not be so lucky, thought Dex. Good thing I had my lucky backpack. Socks' boxes. Socks is not like other foxes. Socks has lots of stuff in boxes. He has a box for fun glasses and a box for sunglasses. He has a box for smooth brushes and a box for toothbrushes. He has a box for baking dishes and a box for making wishes. A box for his lunches. He has bunches and bunches. The rose. It looks just like a rose. I hope nobody gets too close. The monkeys put up 2 stones and 3 orange cones. What else can we do? Let's rope it off, too. This will keep him out, I hope. Stop! Don't you see the rope? The cow said, I want to smell the rose. Do I have something on my nose? Zigg and Socks. Zigg gets up at 7 or 8. Socks always sleeps in very late. Socks likes the color red. Zigg always picks blue instead. Zigg eats rice and beans. Socks eats lots and lots of greens. Zigg and Socks are not the same. I like you, they both exclaim. What's a thermos? There were 2 mice out that day. Tim had a thin coat. Kim had a thick coat. What is that? Said Tim. This is a thermos, said Kim. What's a thermos? Said Tim. It keeps things hot, said Kim. That's great. Can I put my hands inside? It's for things you drink, like this. Oh, thank you very much. Biff and the Coffee. There was a sad dragon named Biff. His sadness made him seem gruff. Biff's friends could breathe fire, but Biff could only make a puff of smoke. One day, Biff walked by a coffee shop. He got a whiff of fresh coffee. Biff sniffed and sniffed. With each sniff, Biff began to feel different. When he opened his mouth, there was a blast. And Biff had burned a bunch of stuff. Fuzz or buzz? Azie was a fuzzy bear. He had the fuzziest fur in town. Azie had one problem. The problem was frizz. When it rained, his fuzzy fur got frizzy. "Why am I so fuzzy?" he thought. So Azie got a buzz cut. "Well, the frizz is gone," Azie thought. "But now I miss being fuzzy." Let's take a trip. Tim and Kim wanted to travel. "Let's take a trip," said Kim. "Yes, a trip on a tricycle," said Tim. "Tricycles are too slow," said Kim. "True," said Tim. "Let's take a trip on a truck." "There's too much traffic," said Kim. "True," said Tim. "Let's take a trip on a train." "Yes, a trip on a train." Drumming dream. Biff had a big dream. He wanted to play the drums. He got dressed up and started to play. But he kept dropping his drumsticks. After a while, Biff started getting drowsy. So he drove to the coffee shop. When he got home, he was ready to play. He saw some fuzz on his drum and blew it off. When he blew, a blast of fire came out. Biff was going to need a new drum set. What do you hear? "What do you hear?" asked Jill. "What did you say?" asked Will. "What do you hear?" yelled Jill. "I hear you now," said Will. "What else do you hear?" asked Jill. Tick tock, tick tock. "I think I hear a clock," said Will. "What do you hear, Jill?" "Ding dong, ding dong." "I hear a bell," yelled Jill. Bubblegum stew. Captain Newt was hungry, and so was his crew. So he started to brew a new kind of stew. He threw in some salt, then some bubblegum too. He gathered his crew to try the stew. The stew was hot and very gooey. The stew was good and very chewy. They chewed and chewed the bubblegum stew. Then they blew bubbles, which grew and grew, till they lifted the captain and his crew. Up, up, and away they flew.